Hey you guys, it is week 3 of the How to Grow Your Hair While Doing Protective Styling series. This is Toya and thank you for watching Toya JTV. And for week 3, I have already shampooed and conditioned my hair. I did part of the conditioning. I shampooed with the Extreme Clean shampoo by Silk Hydration, and then I followed that up with the Extreme Moisture shampoo by Silk Hydration as well. And I then did the replenishing conditioner, which is also by Silk Hydration. So now at this point I am going to apply the leave-in and detangle. After I rinse the replenishing conditioner out, I then just towel dried it really well, because you want the leave-in conditioner to have something to stick to. If your hair is dripping wet, then that leave-in conditioner is just going to be dripping off of your hair, you know, with the water. So you want to towel dry your hair really well, which is why mine is looking like this. So now I'm going to spray the leave-in before I even start detangling, and that's just because the leave-in conditioner will help me detangle. So I'm spraying it all very generously throughout. Then I'm going to take my wide tooth comb, starting with the ends, and work my way up. And you want to be kind of gentle with the hair, especially when it's wet, because it's much more fragile when it's wet. Also, you want to keep in mind that my hair has been braided up for an entire week. So even though it's been braided up, it's still been shedding. It's just that that shedded hair had nowhere to go because the hair has been braided up. So if I normally shed 100 to 200 hairs a day, we'll just take the higher end and say 200 hairs a day. Multiply that times 7 days, which gives you 1,400 hairs. That's a good handful of hair. Okay, so when you are taking down your braids, if you have your hair braided while you're wearing your wigs or whatever you have, if you just don't comb your hair for a week, let's say you wrap it instead of braiding it, and you don't comb it down for an entire week, you'll still have the same results. So don't be, don't get scared when you see a bunch of hair in the comb, because again, that's just all of the accumulated hair that is built up. Because it is normal to shed hair daily, because that's just allowing the old hair to shed out and the new hair to grow. But keep in mind also that our hair is in the growing phase more than it's in the shedding phase. Alright, so you want, and if you ever run into any snags in your hair, say it's just a part like this, it just does not want to detangle, I'm going to take more leave-in conditioner and spray in that area. Okay? And that helps that come right on out. See that? All of these Silk Hydration products were made by me. I am a professional hairstylist. I have a salon in Birmingham, Alabama. And I use these products on all of my clients. All right. And another reason why my hair was so tangled this time is because I don't know if I was just extremely ready to take a shower today or what, but I jumped in the shower without unbraiding my hair first. So what I ended up doing was taking my hair down while I was in the shower. So I didn't comb through it. You always want to comb through your hair. After you take your braids down, you always want to comb all the way through it to get as much of the shedded hair out as possible as you can first, okay? Because otherwise it'll be even more tangled. But mine wasn't too bad, but it made me work a little harder than I normally have to. Alright, so now I have all of my hair detangled. Alright, and I'm going to show you how much of the hair came out. Okay, that's a good little bit. But it's really not bad if you put this up to this is a whole week's worth, okay? So, remember I said I only did half of the conditioning. So I put the replenishing conditioner in and then I rinsed it out. I just applied the leave-in and now I'm going to do a deep conditioner. And this is the Silk Hydration by L. Jones Intense Moisturizing Treatment. And I'm trying to make sure to get my edges really well because after I had my last baby, my hair, especially around my edges, seemed to shed a lot more. Okay, so they are in the process of growing back, which I'm happy about that, but I want to make sure I keep my edges and all of the parts that was shedding and breaking extremely moisturized. Because when it's extremely dry, it tends to break more. So this intense moisturizing treatment has oils already in it. It has silk elements already in it. So that when you rinse this out of your hair, then you won't have to put any oil or anything like that in your hair. And so I'm applying it pretty generously because I want to make sure it gets on every strand. And then I'm going to take my comb and just comb that through. So remember, there's nothing wrong with wearing your protective styles, but we just have to remember to protect our real hair underneath. If you are not paying any attention to your real hair while you're wearing your protective styles, when you take that protective style out, your hair is going to be damaged. So a lot of times it's not necessarily the braids or the wigs or the weaves that's making our hair come out. It's that we're not taking care of our hair underneath. So if you put like a wig or a sew-in or braids on top of damaged hair, the braids and the weaves and the sew-ins is not going to magically make your hair back healthy. You have to already be taking care of your hair. So if you need a trim, if you need to be strengthening that hair, doing treatments, you need to do that before you start the protective styling. And that way, once you do it, your hair will stay healthy. Because it's going to stay in whatever state it's in before you put it in. So if your hair is already damaged before you put it in, it's going to be damaged when you take it out. If your hair is healthy before you put it in, it's going to be healthy when you take it out. So if your hair needs to be trimmed or cut or treated in any way, you want to do that before you do your treatment. Alright, so now I am going to put this up, put it in a plastic cap, and I'm again using my trusty plastic bag because that's what I have. Everyone has a drawer or a cabinet full of plastic bags. If you do not have a plastic shower cap, this is what you can use. Just put you a clip right there. Boom, you're done. About 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. I may let mine sit a little longer because I tend to normally do like some things around the house while I have this on. So I never really keep track of time, but it's always at least 45 minutes. If you're doing it with heat, you can do 30 minutes. I normally don't do heat because I have plenty of things to do while this is, you know, working. So I'm going to let it sit at least 45 minutes to an hour. Then I'm going to rinse it out and blow dry my hair and then braid it back up. Okay, so I will be back after I blow dry. Okay, you guys, so now I have my hair all braided up thanks to my lovely mother. And now I'm just going to apply the oil to my scalp. And I like to do it while it's braided because that way it can get directly on my scalp. And so right now I'm just using the Silk Hydration Growth Stimulation Oil. Okay. So once I have this all in my scalp and I've gotten it all over my scalp, then I just put my wig cap on. Alright, and this is just, like I said, basically it's like a stocking cap. I think you can get these like 2 for $1 at the beauty supply store. And then just apply the wig. Okay, you guys, so this is the wig on. I'm gonna show you the back. Okay, so I will just wear this one for the rest of the week, and what I'll do is just take it off every night, put my satin scarf on top of my braids, and then go to sleep. Then in the morning, take my scarf off, put her back on. This is Becky. I call her Becky with the good hair, but what I did to her was, she's really like body wave hair, and what I did was just one curled it with the very small, the smallest curl, this one. Okay, one curled it with the small one, and then just kind of combed it out a little bit. All right, you guys, so that will conclude week 3. So remember, underneath here, to my real hair, I deep conditioned, and I made sure to oil my scalp, and I shampooed and cleansed very well. All right, so we will let our hair sit, just rest for another week, and then I'll do it again next week. So join me next week for week 4, how to grow your hair while wearing protective styles. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. See you next week. Bye-bye.